Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League pennant race, or pennant season, I guess I should say, not pennant race. We're just in early part of May, so it's not exactly a pennant race, but it's the AL replay. 1987, every game played, no simming. We are at the next game in the May 2nd block. We're from Kansas City. It is the Cleveland Indians and the Kansas City Royals. Starting pitchers are Scott Bale, the left-hander for Cleveland, and Brett Saberhagen, the right-hander for Kansas City. On the replay, Kansas City comes to the game an even 10-10. Cleveland comes in 10-13. This is game number 157 overall. Singles are 1-11 for both lefties and righties. Home runs are only 1-3 as we are in spacious Royal Stadium. Saberhagen enters the game with a record of 2-2. Bale's a record of 1-2. Saberhagen and Bales both have good quotients to hold runners, so the running game might be slowed down a little bit because of these numbers. So we'll have to wait and see if they dare try to steal off of these guys. Let's look at the starting lineups. Pretty similar lineups for Cleveland. Not a whole lot of changes here. For whatever reason, I don't know why Brett Butler's not batting leadoff, but these are the as-played lineups. He's batting eighth. I don't get it. If it was me, I'd have him up the top, but that's just me. So we got Bernazard, Franco, Carter, Hall, Tabler, Snyder, Jacoby Butler, and Dempsey for the Cleveland Indians. For Kansas City, we got Wilson, Seitzer. With the lefty on the mound, Beniquez is playing first base. For whatever reason, they're giving Balboni the day off. I don't know why. White, second base, Tartabull and right, McCray, DH, Bo Jackson, and left, Salazar and Owen finish out the lineup. Hello, Philip and Chuck. Good to see you. Got our dice here again for Kansas City. Same dice we used for the Toronto, Texas game because very similar colors. All right, so looks like everything is in place and we are ready to go. Let's get the statistics, full statistics for Saberhagen. He is 2-2 with an ERA even 3.00, because he's pitched 33 innings and given up 11 earned runs. So this is his fifth start. In his previous four starts, he's gone 33 innings, 26 hits, 9 walks, and 18 strikeouts. So 4 starts and 33 innings. He's averaging a little over 8 innings a start. He does have 2 complete games. So Saberhagen can go the distance when he's pitching well. So Saberhagen, and he was 18-10 with a 3.36 in real world in the 87 season. So he will finish up his warm-up tosses. And stepping up to the plate is Tony Bernazard. Second baseman. We'll get the numbers on Bernazard and the rest of the Cleveland lineup as they come to the plate. When it's their time, Bernazard is hitting 280, 23 out of 82, 310, 3 homers and 10 runs driven in is what I meant to say. Don't know why I was getting kind of tongue-tied there, but I was for whatever reason. But now I think we've got it straightened out so that we can get this game underway from Royal Stadium, later to be called Kauffman Stadium. Of course, it was Royal Stadium for who knows how long. So let's get our dice together. Everything is in place. And let's see. Hello, Kenyon and Clee baseball fan. Good to see both of you as we get ready to go here from Kansas City. All right, we are ready to go. Bernazard steps in against Saberhagen. That's a 2-9, and that's going to be a single to left field for Tony Bernazard. Again, the pitcher hold is -4, so it'll be a total of -6. So if you got the jump, it'd only be a 1-9. So Bernazard will be held, but he will not go anywhere. He will stand pat, and that brings up shortstop Julio Franco. Franco on the replay. Hello, Astro Reefer. Good to see you. Franco on the replay is hitting. He's 30 out of 99, a 303 average. 1 homer and 10 driven in. Of course, the old standby havoc roll. Nothing happening. That's a 4-8 for Saberhagen. Pops him up to third. And Seitzer's there to put it away. 1 down. Franco is retired for the very much struggling Joe Carter. Carter hitting 16 out of 104, which is a 154 average. 1 homer and 3 driven in. Walked 5 times, struck out 27 times. It's a 1-7, and he's going to strike out again. So, boy, whatever it is for Joe Carter, he just is getting off to a very slow start in this replay. That'll send up Mel Hall, left fielder. He is hitting 329, which is 23 out of 70. 2 homers and 12 driven in. It's a 1-6, and he's going to get a 1-16 single, so that's a base hit, but it's only 1 star. It will only move Bernazard to second base, but now we're in a clutch situation for Pat Tabler, designated hitter. Tabler is he's near the top of the league in hitting. He's hitting 394, 39 out of 99, 4 homers and 16 driven in. Hello, Ron. Good to see you. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a chance of a balk on Saberhagen. Saberhagen's balk rating is a 2. There will be no balk. So Tabler steps to the plate. 6-11. It's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Salazar. He's a 2E16. 2 with an E16. 2 and an 8. Pretty confident he'll get to that. 2 and an 8 is a G2. So he'll get to force play to second as long as there's no error. He's an E16. He's got to avoid 14 and 17. Just those 2 numbers, 14 and 17. Which he does. So it's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the inning. Cleveland puts 2 on, but don't score. We go to the bottom of the first. Cleveland nothing, and the Royals coming to bat. And left-hander Scott Bales, a record of 1-2 on the replay. And let's see what his rest of his numbers are like. Bales is, boy, this is his 6th start, his 5th start, his 6th appearance overall. Did have 1 relief appearance. He's 1-2, but his ERA is 9.47. He's gone 19 innings, given up 31 hits and 20 earned runs, 10 walks and 13 strikeouts. So obviously a little rough time of it. Maybe he can get well against the Royals. I don't know. Willie Wilson will be the first to try him out. And the leadoff man for the Royals, Willie Wilson, is not doing that great himself. Now he's okay, 256, 22 out of 86, 1 homer, 5 driven in. Does have 7 stolen bases without being caught. That's a 4-4 switch hitter batting right-handed. Fly ball center field X, that's Butler, 2E5. 2 and a 3, that could be interesting, but I think he still might get to it, but we'll find out. 2 and a 3 for an outfielder. No, he won't get to it. That's a single right there, so Butler couldn't get to it. It'll be a base hit. He's an E5, so he's got to avoid 4, 16, and 17, and 18. And he does, but he won't. He avoids the error, but can't get to the ball, so it will be a base hit for Wilson. If he wants to get the lead, and he's going to try for it, Bales is a -3 combined with the catcher, so it'd be a 1-14 total after being held. But he's going to try to get the lead. He needs a 3 through 6. He will not get the lead, so he will hold. Brings up Kevin Seitzer. Seitzer on the replay. 18 out of 75 for a 240 average. 2 homers and 7 driven in. It's a 4-5, and it's a fly ball to right. Corey Snyder puts it away, 1 down. And that'll bring up first baseman Juan Beniquez. Beniquez hasn't had that many at-bats. He's 7 out of 24. It is a 292 average. 2 homers and 9 driven in. So out of his 7 hits, 4 extra bases. He's got 1 double, 1 triple, and 2 homers. And then goes with 3 singles. All right, so Beniquez, there's a 1. Chance of a wild pitch on Bales. His wild pitch rating's a 5. Will not be a wild pitch. Here's the pitch to Beniquez. 3-9, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop A. It's going to be a 6-4-3 tailor-made double play to end the inning. And Bales gets out of any future trouble. We go to second, still no score from Kansas City. Saberhagen will come out. And he'll be facing Snyder, Jacoby, and Butler for the Tribe. Hello, Mr. Utah Mike. So Snyder on the replay is 24 of 97 for a 247 average. And he's got 3 homers, 8 driven in. That's a 2-5, and that's a split chance. 1-2 is a single, anything else he lines to short. So it's 6, so he will line it to Salazar for out number 1. So Snyder is retired. And now one of the league's leading hitters, Brooke Jacoby, he's hitting .395, 34 out of 86, 4 homers, 19 driven in. That's a 2-7, and that's another single, so his average will improve even more. For Jacoby. He, of course, will not be held and will not try anything. And here comes Brett Butler. And Butler spent a lot of time on the disabled list. He's only had 19 at-bats, but he's 8 for 19, which is a .421 average. No homers, no runs driven in. He has stolen 2 bases, but he's also been caught 3 times. So he's only 2 out of 5. Not a very good percentage. He is an A bunter, but there's already 1 out, so we're not going to have him bunt. Let's see if he can do something here against Saberhagen. It's a 5-4 left-handed ballpark single check. It's a 1 to an 11. That's an 8, so it will be a base hit. And Jacoby will go to second base. So runners at first and second with 1 out for the venerable Rick Dempsey, former longtime Oriole. And Dempsey on the replay, hitting .231, 9 out of 39. He's been kind of splitting time with Chris Bando. So he's 9 of 39, a homer, and 10 driven in. 1 again, so another chance for Saberhagen to throw a wild pitch. And he is a 5. No wild pitch is blocked by Owen. It's a 4-6, right-handed, lines it out to second base. Snagged by Frank White for out number 2. Everybody gets back safely. But now we're in a clutch situation for Bernazard as runners are at first and second. Against right-handers, he loses a hit on 110 and on 312 and on 2-9, 210. So he's definitely anti-clutch. It's a 3-5. He's going to strike out, and that's going to end the inning. So Saberhagen pitches around the 2 base hits, and the Tribe get nothing. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. Bales back out. Will face White, Tartable, and McRae for the Royals. So on the replay, Frank White is not doing so good. He's 17 out of 80, which is a .213 average, 3 homers, 8 driven in. .6 against the right-hander, and he's going to do some damage. 1 to 15 is a double. That is a 15, so it's a leadoff double for Frank White. Frank White with the double. That is his 4th double of the season. Hello, Rick. Good to see you. And here comes Danny Tartable. Tartable hitting .282, 22 out of 78, 7 home runs and 14 driven in. Kind of low RBIs for 7 home runs. You'd think he'd have more than 14, but that's all he's got. White not being held at second. 2-4. And it's a ground ball shortstop A, and that will hold the runners, or hold the runner White there at short or at second base. So there's one down. And here's Hal McRae, the designated hitter. McRae in limited duty. He's 4 out of 16, a very even .250 average, no homers and 1 driven in. Bales to McRae. McRae's got a loaded column 1 and column 3 against lefties. He got found a 1. 110's a ballpark blast, but he's only a 3, so it will not be the blast. It'll just be a fly out to left, and that's out number 2. So 2 down for Bo Nose in a clutch situation. And in the clutch, Bo loses 2 hits, 110 and 112. So anti-clutch there for Bo. On the replay, Jackson is hitting .297, 2 homers. I'm sorry, 22 out of 74, 1 homer and 9 driven in. That's a .511. That's a ballpark home run shot, but it's only a 1-3, and that's a 5. So Royal Stadium just cost Bo Jackson and probably Hal McRae, caused them both to fail in the home run category, and that's going to end the inning. So Bales taking advantage of the pitching park that is Royal Stadium, or else that would have been a 2-run homer. So we start at the top of the third. It'll be Franco, Carter, and Hall due up for the Cleveland Indians. 2-11, and that's a pop out to third. Seitzer will haul it in. 1 down for Joe Carter. The struggles continue for Joe Carter. 6-4. Maybe not this time. 1-13 is a home run. That's a 13 around the number. So as soon as I talk about him, Joe Carter goes deep. Home run for Joe Carter puts the Cleveland Indians on the board. Look at it again. 6-4. Right-handed for Saberhagen. It's a split. 1-13 is a home run. 14-20 is a triple. That's a 13. So Joe Carter comes through with a home run. For Carter, that is only his 4th home run of the season. So Carter gives the Cleveland Indians a 1-0 lead. Hello, Kevin. And here's Mel Hall. 1-8 for Hall, and that is a fly to right field. And speaking of hauling, Tartable will haul it in for out number 2. Brings up Tabler. It's a 6-8 for Tabler, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. That's Salazar. He's a 2. 2 and a 3. I think that might get through for a hit again. Or does it? No, it does not. 2 and a 3 in the outfield is a hit, but 2 and 3 in the infield is a ground ball G3, so he will get to it. E16, he just has to avoid 14 and 17. And he does. So good play for Salazar to end the inning, but Cleveland with the home run from Joe Carter takes a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the third. And Scott Bales pitching with a lead, very uncharacteristic of him to be doing that. Here's Salazar. He will lead off, the number 8 hitter for the Royals. And on the replay for Salazar, he is actually doing quite well. He's 19 out of 52 for a .365 average, a homer and 5 driven in. It's a 1-6. He's going to ground it to short. Franco will make the play. 1 away for the catcher, Larry Owen. And Owen on the replay is only hitting a .188. He's 3 out of 16. Very limited playing time. Most often, well, they had a whole lot of guys split time catching. So, but this one is 2 3 out of 16 for a 188 average. That's a 5-9, and that's going to be a ground ball back to Bales. So 2 up and 2 down, and here's Willie Wilson. Bales pitching much better than his replay ERA of 9 and change. 5-4. It's a ballpark single again, 1-11. That's going to get through for a single for Willie Wilson. And again, he will attempt to get the lead. He needs a 3, 4, 5, or 6. He cannot get the lead. Bales holds him close. Here's Seitzer. 5-5, and that's a ground ball to second. That'll end the inning. So Bales pitches 3 shutout innings against the Royals. Cleveland getting more than they bargained for out of here because they were a little leery about Bales starting this game, given his previous record. But he is proving to be up to the task so far. Here's Corey Snyder. Snyder, the right fielder, will step in. 3-9, and he's going to hit a ballpark blast home run, but it's only a 3. So again, Royal Stadium cost him a home run. Just a deep fly to left. Spacious Royal Stadium costing them runs. Here's Jacoby. 4-6, and that's a line out to second. And it'll bring up Butler. 1-7. He's going to draw the 2-out walk. 2-out walk to Butler. He may try for the lead right here, although he's gotten caught 3 times. So if he tries for it, then you're still talking a 1-9. So I think they're just going to have him stay there. So here's Dempsey. 4-5, and that's a pop out to short. Salazar's got it. And the Tribe is down pretty quickly here in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 1-0 favor of Cleveland. And we're looking at Juan Beniquez, Frank White, and Danny Tartable. 5-5, and that is another ground ball to second. Beniquez is out of there. Spernazard handles it, no problems. Here's Frank White. He doubled his first time up. 2-7, and he almost doubled again. 2-8 would have been a double, but 2-7 is a strikeout. So Bales, his first strikeout of the game. And here's Tartable. 5-7, and that's a walk. And for Bales, that's his first walk of the game. Tartable will not be held, will not try to go anywhere. Here's Hal McRae. The 4-12, and that's a fly ball right field X. That's Snyder. He's a 2-11 in right field. 2-15, he'll get to it. The 11 is the question. 11 and a 9 probably is okay, but we'll find out. 11 and a 9. Yep, there's no 9, so it's good play for Snyder. And the Royals are taken care of here in the 4th. 4 shutout innings for Scott Bales, as he's out-dueling Saberhagen 1-0. Home run from Joe Carter, the only run of the game. Here's Bernazard. He's 1 for 2. 4-11, switch hitter batting left is a ballpark blast again. 1-3, but that's a 19. I know you can't see it, but that's a 19. The 1 kind of got almost whited out there. I probably need the other blue dye on here instead of this one, but it's going to be a fly out to right field. There's 1 away for Franco. 3-9 for Franco. That's a split chance. 1-7 is a single, but that's a 17. So he will line it to short. 2 down. And here comes Carter. He struck out and homered. Hello, Ron. Good to see you. 1-5 for Carter. He's going to ground it to short. Salazar is there to make the play. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, still 1-0. Favor of Cleveland. This is the point of weakness inning for Bales. He has inning number 5, so we keep an eye on that for fatigue purposes. Once he gives up 3 base runners this inning, he would become fatigued. Here's Bo Nose. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. So Bale's still rolling here. Hello, Jimmy Jam. Good to see you. Bring up Salazar. 6-6, and that's a 1-15 double. That's a 13, so Salazar will crack a double. And now the tying run is in scoring position with 1 out for Larry Owen. That's a 2-8 for Owen. Ground ball to short. That's going to freeze the runner and hold Salazar at second base. So the key so far for Bales, he's allowed a base runner every inning, but only 1 base runner. Has not allowed 2 base runners in the same inning yet. So that's what's kept him out of trouble. But we are at a clutch situation for Willie Wilson. He does lose a hit on 112 and on 2-8 and on 3-8 and 3-9. So he's definitely anti-clutch, is Willie. Although he is 2 for 2. But that was with nobody on base. 5-6, right-handed is a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Franco. He's a 2. 2-9. He should get to that on a 2 and a 9, I would think. 2 and 9 should be pretty easy. 2 and 9 is a G2, which is good enough. Franco's an E26, so he's got to avoid 12, 17, and 18. 12, 17, and 18. And he does. So it's a good play for Franco, and that's going to retire the Royals. So Bales will keep going. He's got endurance. And he's pitching a shutout. It's 1-0. So we go to the 6th. Saberhagen's fatigue is the 8th, so he's definitely got a lot of juice left in him. He's got 2 complete games already. So fatigue will not be an issue for Saberhagen, at least not for a while. Here's Mel Hall. 2-10 for Hall. 1-17. It's a home run. That is gone. Look at it again a little closer. 2-10 right here. 1-17 is a home run. That's a 15. So for Mel Hall, he will go deep despite the spacious area of Royal Stadium. He blasted through all of that. And for Hall, that's home run number 3, RBI number 13. Gives Cleveland a 2-0 lead. So 2-0. And that will bring up Tabler. 4-4. He's going to fly to center. Wilson's a 1. You know he's going to get to it. He's an E1. The only way he commits an error on an E1, I believe it's a 17. I will check it out here to make sure. Yep, got to be it. 17 is the only way he makes an error. And there's no 17 there, so he will make the play. 1 down, and that will send us to Corey Snyder. He is 0 for 2. 4-8, and now he's 0 for 3 as he pops it up to Seitzer. 2 down for Brooke Jacoby. 2-6 for Jacoby. That's a single. 2-out single for Jacoby. He will not be held. Here's Brett Butler. Yes, I am, Jimmy Jam. Every single game from the American League. Yes, it may take a while. We're at game 157. It's over 1,000 games. It might take until middle of next year, but I don't care. I'm enjoying the process. 1 chance for a wild pitch, which is a 5. No wild pitch. So we pitch to Butler. 1-4, and that's a fly to center. That's going to end the inning. But another run comes in on a home run. This one from Mel Hall. And Cleveland leads Kansas City, surprisingly, 2-0. As we go to the bottom of the 6th. And for Kansas City, it'll be Seitzer, Beniquez, and White due up. 5-10. Catcher X. That's going to be Dempsey. He's a 3E13. 3 and a 3 for a catcher. That could be interesting. See if that gets to be a base hit or not. 3 and a 3. Nope, it's a W/G. So it would be a ground out. He is an E13 though. So E13, he's got a lot of numbers here that can cause an error. So you look at Rick Dempsey right here. All these numbers above his card. 3, 4, 6. Basically it's 3, 4, 6, and then 15 through 18. So we need something in the middle, not high, not low. And that is an 11, so he escaped. He escaped. So it's going to be a good play, 2 to 3 on the ground out. And Seitzer is retired to start the inning. So that'll bring up Benitez. Yeah, it's going to take a while, Jimmy. That is for sure. It is definitely going to take a while between this and the Cincinnati Reds History Maker replay, and then of course next month we got the NBC Game of the Week and season ticket. So it's a lot of stuff. Benitez, 3-7, and that's a ground ball to third for out number 2, and that'll take us to Frank White. 1-4 for White. It's a ballpark blast, but it's only a 1 to 3, and that's a 17. So yet another fly ball goes to the warning track and just fades away in Royal Stadium. A would-be home run is curtailed. So at the end of 6, it is still Cleveland 2 and Kansas City nothing. And Scott Bales putting on a pitching clinic, coming in this game with a 1-2 record and an ERA. In case you missed it, his ERA coming into this game was 9.47. So that's obviously improving. It's going to improve after this game, obviously. Yes, Kenyon, I will be doing whoever wins the American League or ALCS when I'm done will play the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series. And I will use actual lineups for the St. Louis Cardinals. And if it's not the Twins, then of course I'll just pick the best lineup I can for whoever it is that makes it. And look at there, lurking in the shadows is Mr. RJL. All right, so Dempsey is 0 for 2. He's lined to second and popped to short. 2-10, and he will at least get it in the outfield. It's a fly out to left field. And Bo Nose puts that away for 1 down. And we go back to the top of the order for Bernazard. He's 1 for 3. Single to start the game off, but then since then has struck out and flown to right, and I just dropped one of my D6s. So I need to secure that real quick before the at-bat can begin. 4-6, switch hitter batting left is a strikeout. So second strikeout of the game for Bernazard. So not like, again, I say I don't know why Butler's not hitting leadoff, but that's just these are as-played lineups. So for whatever reason, Pat Corrales figured he wants to do it this way. So that's what we'll go with. So that will send up Julio Franco, who is 0 for 3. He has popped to third twice and lined to short. Has yet to get the ball out of the infield. It's a 3-4. And he's going to ground. He still hasn't gotten out of the infield. He grounds it to Seitzer at third to end the inning. So that will do it. That will definitely do it for the Indians here in the top of the 7th. We go to the 7th inning stretch here in Kansas City with Cleveland surprisingly leading the Kansas City Royals 2-0 behind Scott Bales and his wonderful pitching. But it is the 7th inning stretch, so if you want to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," you're more than welcome to. That takes care of that. So, Tartable will lead off the bottom of the 7th. Get a 4-5, and that is a fly to right field. Snyder's got it, one away. Brings up Hal McRae. He's flown out twice. 6-5, not this time. 1-4 is a triple. 5-20 is a double. That'll be a double for Hal McRae. So he's aboard with a double. He will not be held. And here comes Bo Nose. For 8, and that is a pop out to second base. There's a dot there, but he has not reached fatigue yet. So it's going to be a pop out to second base, fielded by Bernazard for out number 2. And now we're at the clutch situation for Angel Salazar. Could pinch hit for him because we are in the 7th inning. He did double his last time up, but he is a 205 hitter, so I think we're going to make the move for a pinch hitter. Question is, who do they go to? They are going to go to Bill Pacoda. Bill Pacoda on the real world was a 276 hitter, so he will come on, and he will stay in the game to play shortstop. So Bill Pacoda. He will pinch hit here in the 7th and play shortstop in the 8th. Bill Pacoda. Let's get the numbers on Pacoda. Hello, Brian B. Good to see you. Yes, Bill, it's definitely good to see a pitching after all these runs in 1987. I'm telling you. A lot of runs scored in 1987, no question about it. Hello, Prague. Good to see you as well. Oh, let's get the numbers on Pacoda. That's what I meant to do. Pacoda hasn't had many at-bats. He's only been a recent call-up. So Pacoda, but he is hitting 400. He's 2 for 5. Very limited duty. No homers, 1 driven in. So yeah, he's mostly been a pinch hitter and a defensive replacement. It is a clutch situation. He does lose hits in the clutch here at 1-8 and 1-10. Loses one on 2-7 and on 3-2. So he's definitely anti-clutch. But he's going to see what he can do here against Scott Bales. It's a 2-12, and that's a ballpark blast again. So it's a 1-3, though. That's a 9. So again, Royal Stadium is taking these home runs away. If we were playing at a more friendly ballpark, Bales would have been knocked out of this game a long time ago. He's had at least 3 of those go to the warning track, failed ballpark home runs. And again, only 1 runner per base. He's allowed 7 base runners. They've been 6 base runners. The 6 he didn't allow anybody, but all the other innings, 1 base runner apiece, and that's it. So we go to the 8th. It's still 2-0. This is the fatigue inning for Saberhagen, as he does have the 8 number there. So we got to keep an eye on that. And we'll see if there may be some bullpen activity coming up shortly for, well, really for both teams. All right, so here is Joe Carter. He started off the festivities in the 3rd inning with a home run, his 4th of the season. 2-9, and the ballpark blast again, 1-3, and that is a 3. Look at that. It's right there. That's a 3. So Joe Carter hits his 2nd home run of the game, his 5th of the season, after I had been berating him about how horrible he'd been doing all season. Well, he still is doing horrible. He's still hitting less than 200, but he's got 2 home runs in this game. Look at it again. 2-9, ballpark blast. Ballpark blast is 1-3, and that is a 3. So it's a 3-0. And speaking of 3s, it's now 3-0 Cleveland. So here's Mel Hall. 6-3, and that's going to be a ballpark single check. 1-11. That's an 8, so it's a single. So Saberhagen 1 batter away from reaching fatigue, and the Royal bullpen is going to get some activity going. Hello, Spokane. Good to see you. Bullpen activity for Kansas City. Let's see who needs the work, and we don't want to overwork any of the relievers out there. It looks like this guy, Dave Gumpert. Dave Gumpert is loosening in the Royal bullpen in back of Saberhagen. 3-0. Hall is at first. He is not going to be held. Here's Pat Tabler. Tabler is 0 for 3. 1-6, and now he strikes out. He's 0 for 4. So Saberhagen trying to get through the 8th inning. He's averaged 8 innings per start. And here's Corey Snyder. Snyder, 2-5, and it's a split chance. 1-2 is a single. That's a 6. So he's going to line it to Salas, to Pacoda at short. He's a new shortstop. Brings up Jacoby. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a pass ball opportunity. Larry Owens' pass ball rating's a 4. No pass ball. So Jacoby will step in. That's a 6-6, and that's going to be a 1-3 double. 4-20 is a single. Single 2 stars is going to put runners at the corners. And now Saberhagen has reached fatigue. He is fully fatigued. And Brett Butler is your batter. The question is, do they let Saberhagen try to get out of it? I think he's pretty much the ace of your staff, so I think he's earned the right to be able to try to get out of it. So give him a chance to face Butler with runners on the corners and 2 outs. That's a 3-9, and that is a single, but it's a clutch. So he is anti-clutch on the 3-9. That is an anti-clutch. There's a runner on third with 2 outs. So this single turns into a pop out to second base. So the anti-clutch cost Brett Butler and helped Brett Saberhagen. A couple of Bretts there. But the Joe Carter home run makes it 3-0 ball games. We go to the bottom of the 8th. That's going to be it for Saberhagen. Gumpert will come in and pitch the 9th. Now, Scott Bales. He's still in there, but Cleveland does have some activity in their bullpen. The problem is their bullpen is really, really bad. And it's hard to pick a guy in the bullpen that you could trust on this Cleveland team. Let's see. Believe it or not, Steve Carlton is tied for the team lead in saves with 2, along with Ernie Camacho. So let's see. Camacho's pitched 8 games. Carlton's pitched 9. Yet has pitched 11. Vandenberg has pitched 11. So boy, they're going to have lefty action in the bullpen. They're going to have Carlton and Camacho loosely in the bullpen. Double barrel action, lefty and righty. Doug Jones is not on the roster right now. I'm assuming he's injured, so he's not on the roster right now. Larry Owen is your scheduled hitter for Kansas City, but of course he will not hit. We will get a pinch hitter for Larry Owen. Let's see who they're going to pull. And I believe that the new catcher will be Jamie Quirk. So Jamie Quirk's going to be the new catcher. The question is, who is the pinch hitter? And the pinch hitter is going to be, boy, they don't have much, at least not from the right side. Bosley's their best pinch hitter, but he's left-handed. So I'm going to play it like I think they would in real world, and they're going to use Steve Balboni. So Balboni will pinch hit, and Quirk will stay in the game to catch. So Balboni is your pinch hitter. It's a 2 there. So Balboni pinch hits here in the 8th. And then the new catcher will be Jamie Quirk. He will catch the 9th. So Balboni will give it a shot. See what he can do here to try to get something going. On the replay for Kansas City, Balboni. Let's see here. Balboni is hitting only 154. He's 10 out of 65. Does have 4 homers and 6 driven in. 210, and he will fly to center field. That's out number 1. So Balboni is done. Back to the top of the order for Willie Wilson, who is 2 for 3 in the game. That's a 1-3, and he's going to line it to first. So it's snagged over there by Joe Carter for out number 2. Bale set to go 8 shutout innings. Here is Seitzer. 6-12, and that's a fly ball left field X. That's Hall. He's a 3-E-4. 3 and a 19. He'll get to that all day long. E4. And let's see, E4 and a 14. That could be interesting. E4 and a 14 for an outfielder. E4, there's a 15, but no 14. So it's good play for Mel Hall. And Scott Bales is going to go 8 innings. How about that? Scott Bales will go 8 innings, and it looks like they're going to bring in Camacho to finish up the game in the 9th for the save if they can get it. But Scott Bales, how about that? He entered the game 1-2 with an ERA of 9.47, and he pitches 8 shutout innings against the Royals. He's going to go 8 innings, give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, no runs. He walked just one, Danny Tarble, the only guy he walked. Didn't give him any strikeouts either, just had him put the ball in play. 1, 2, just 2 strikeouts that I can see there. Saberhagen also goes 8 innings. He's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Walks, he walked 1. He walked Brett Butler. That was it. Strikeout 1, 2, 3, 4. Got him for 4 strikeouts. And Dave Gumpert, the right-hander, will be coming in for Kansas City. Mr. Gumpert. And Gumpert on the replay is 0-0 with an ERA of 3. This will be appearance number 5 for him. He's pitched 3 innings, given up 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And coming up for the Cleveland Indians will be the bottom of the order, Dempsey, followed by Bernazard and Franco. So Dempsey will lead things off. That's a 2-5, and 1-11 is a double. That's a 1. It's a leadoff double for Rick Dempsey. He greets Gumpert with a leadoff double, does Dempsey. That'll bring up Bernazard. Of course, if Cleveland scores here, the save situation will go away. 5-10, switch hitter batting left. That's a ballpark single check. That's a 1-11. That is an 11. It's hard to see on that computer card, but there's a little dot there for ballpark singles, a little upside down triangle. So it is a ballpark single, which is a 1-star single. Puts runners on the corners with nobody out. Now, Jamie Quirk with his catching is a +1. Gumpert's a -4 for a -3 in case Bernazard had any ideas of trying to steal. The infield is going to come in against Julio Franco, trying to cut the runoff. It's a 3-6, and that's a walk. It's going to load the bases. Bases are loaded, and now the guy with 2 home runs already in the game, Joe Carter, is up. Kansas City, more action in their bullpen, as it looks like Gumpert is maybe not the answer. So they have in their bullpen, looks like they are looking at Dan Quisenberry. He's had 8 outings, which isn't that many compared to the rest of the team. So Dan Quisenberry is loosening the bullpen just to try to keep things from getting way out of hand in case Gumpert can't handle it. Infield is in. Gumpert to Carter. It's a 1-7. That's a strikeout, and a huge strikeout for Gumpert. 1 down for Mel Hall. Bases are still loaded. Infield is still in. It's a 2-3, and that's a pop up to first base. Infield fly rule. Pops him up to first base. Keeps everybody right where they are. But now Mr. Base is loaded. Pat Tabler is up. 2 outs, bases loaded. Clutch situation. In the clutch, Strat has rated him neutral in the clutch. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. Chance of a balk. His balk rating's a 0, so there is no balk. 1-7 struck him out, so Gumpert comes back and gets out of it. Pitches a very shaky inning, but gives up nothing. So Gumpert's going to go 1 inning, give up 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And now Ernie Macho Camacho will be coming in to pitch for Cleveland to try to wrap this thing up and secure Scott Bales' second victory of the season to even his record. Saberhagen would drop to 2-3. So on the replay, Camacho. You got that right, Jim Jam. All right, Camacho. As I said many times, others play checkers, I play chess. All right, so Camacho on the replay is 1-0 with a 4.91 earned run average. This is his 9th outing. He's got 2 saves, 7 1/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So Ernie Macho Camacho going to try to seal the deal. He'll be facing Benitez, White, and Tartable. However, that with the righty in there now, they are free to bring in left-handed pinch hitting, and Thad Bosley is one of their tops in that category. So Thad Bosley could be pinch hitting for somebody here. Benitez is 251. White is 245. He might pinch hit for Frank White. Yep, so we're going to have Benitez and then Bosley pinch hit for White. And if it goes somehow to extra innings, then Kansas City would be able to bring in Buddy Biancalana to play second base. But they're going to have Benitez, and then they're going to have Thad Bosley to pinch hit for Frank White. But first things first, it is Benitez. 6-11, and that is a in-home run chance 1-8. That's a 1. But he has weak power against the right-handers. Benitez has a W there, so it's just going to be a single. Will not be the home run, just a single for Benitez. He will reach, and that's going to bring up the pinch hitter Thad Bosley. And we go get Bosley's numbers on the replay. Bosley mostly used in pinch hitting and maybe some defensive substitutions. On the replay, Bosley is 3 out of 14, which is a 214 average, a homer and 3 runs driven in. But in real world, he did hit 279. So good pinch hitter traditionally is Bosley. Camacho to Bosley. 6-9, and that's a single to left field. So how about that? Camacho coming in getting up 2 hits right in a row. And here comes Tartable. Danny Tartable. And now Cleveland has in their bullpen maybe somebody that's backing up Camacho. They don't have much to back him up. They're going to have a left-hander. I believe they're going to have Ed Vandenberg, but let me double check it. Or it might be Carlton. 9 for Carlton, Vandenberg 11. But Vandenberg only pitched 10 innings. So, yeah, Ed Vandenberg is loosening in the bullpen for Cleveland in case Camacho can't seal the deal. But they're certainly hoping they can do that. All right, so Tartable is your batter. He is a tying run at the plate. Nobody out. Nobody being held. Camacho pitching to Tartable. 1-5, and that's a strikeout. So a big strikeout for Camacho. Strikes out Tartable. Here's Hal McRae. Now, George Orta is the left-handed version, pinch-hitting version for Kansas City. George Orta. And George Orta will be coming in to pinch hit for Hal McRae. So Orta will come in and pinch hit for Hal McRae. McRae does really well against lefties, not so great against righties. So George Orta will do the pinch hitting, and if it goes to extra innings, he will stay in the game as the DH. On the replay for George Orta, get his numbers. Orta be doing better. He's only 1 out of 16, a 0.63 average on the replay. No homers and 2 driven in. In real world, he hit 180. But he's still got some, look at that column 1 there. He's got some ballpark blasts there. So playing it the way I believe the other manager would play it. Yeah, Tabby was up here. She's been up here a couple times already, Brian. You may have missed it, but she's been up here a couple times. Not tonight. She's resting tonight downstairs. Here is Orta. 3-6 for Orta is a ground ball first base B. It's a fielder's choice. They'll go the short way to second. So out is the pinch hitter Bosley. Going to third is Beniquez. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs. And look who's up next, but Mr. Bo knows. So Bo Jackson a chance. He is a tying run at the plate with 2 outs in a clutch situation with runners on the corners. And he does lose hits on 2-3, 3-10. Those 2 areas he loses hits for anti-clutch. But I tell you what, if he gets a 3-2 or a 3-3, it's a tie game. So just depends on what he gets here. Mr. Bo. That's a 5-2, and that's a strikeout to end the ball game. Camacho strikes him out, and the ball game is over. The Cleveland Indians shut out the Kansas City Royals 3-0. Camacho gets the save, and for Camacho on the replay, that is save number 2. He only had 1 in real world, but he's got 2 right now. That's his second save. The win goes to Bales. He's now 2-2. Camacho goes 1 inning, gives up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and he struck out 2 to get the save. So for Cleveland, 3 runs on 12 hits and no errors. For Kansas City, no runs, 7 hits, no errors. There were no errors in the game for anybody. And player of the game, without question, is Scott Bales. Scott Bales is your player of the game. I mean, I know Joe Carter hit 2 home runs, but when a guy with an over 9 ERA pitches 8 shutout innings, you kind of have to give it to him. So to me, Scott Bales is your player of the game. Left on base for Cleveland, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 left on for Cleveland. For Kansas City, they left on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left on 7. So with the win, Cleveland improves to 11-13. Kansas City drops to 10-11. That was game 157. Game 158 will be from the Metrodome in Minnesota, and it'll be a battle of left-handers in that game, as we will see Frank Viola opposing Tommy John. That will be the next matchup, and like I said, it will be game number 158. So I can fill that in, 158. So Viola will be opposing Tommy John. That'll be the next game, probably tomorrow night, I imagine. From Minnesota. Minnesota is 9-13. The Yankees are tied for first at 16-6. So Viola against Tommy John will be the game tomorrow night. But for tonight, the stars are all shining for Scott Bales. And we'll give them maybe co-players of the game. Scott Bales and Joe Carter both. Carter came into the game with an average of 154, and he comes in here and hits 2 home runs. Scott Bales was 1-2 with an ERA of 9.47. Comes in here and pitches 8 shutout innings. So now he has pitched, Bales has pitched 28 innings and given up 20 runs. So it's definitely going to help the ERA there and drop that quite a bit. I'm not scoring the computer tonight. I'll score it manually after the game is over. I can do that really quickly on the Strat computer, so it takes no time. So I don't have his up-to-the-minute ERA or anything like that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Saberhagen pitched well. Just gave up 3 gopher balls. Scattered a bunch of hits, but got no run support. So what are you going to do? So Cleveland wins it. The Tribe win it 3-0, a shutout. Not many times you see Cleveland pitching a shutout. In fact, entering this game, their team ERA was 4.99 entering the game. I'm sure it's lower now, obviously, but it was 4.99 entering the game. So they were not known for their pitching, but hey, pitch a good game. Dice cooperated. And what really helped out the most for Scott Bales was this ballpark home run only being a 3. There were at least 3 or 4 instances when ballpark blasts came up, but they were just long flyouts because of the ballpark. So Bales has Royal Stadium to thank for that. So thank you all for spending part of your Tuesday night with me. I know RJL was not streaming tonight, taking the night off, so no RJL, no problem, as we filled the gap, and Strat-O-Matic came to play. So again, thank you all for spending part of your Tuesday night with me. Be sure to tune in to RJL tomorrow night for the playoffs so you can catch up on what's going on with his 1983 replay. Also, check out Spokane Steve. He's got a wonderful Strat-O-Matic replay going 1966 every game, much like this. And be sure to check out everybody who puts out videos. Tribe Fan, well, Cleveland baseball fan, I call him Tribe Fan. Utah Mike, which is Sports Time Machine. Check out all those guys and tell them that you enjoy what they do so they encourage them to do it some more. So let's go from here. Again, final score, Cleveland 3, Kansas City nothing. Scott Bales the winner. Brett Saberhagen the loser. Bales improves to 2-2. Saberhagen drops to 2-3. And Ernie Macho Camacho picks up save number 2. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.